Hey everyone, so welcome to day one update. So a few of the speakers have been fitted, mainly the surround speakers. So surround right in the back corner is fitted there, surround left is fitted. Obviously still a little bit of cable tidying to do, as well as a few paint patch ups as well, just because these are so shallow, I can actually fit these and it will still clear the door. So I've been able to actually push these speakers way further out to the sides, rather than having it very, very close to your left-hand ear for this seating position. Side surround, which I know is not ideal in terms of the position for this particular seating area, but we can always just pull this forward when people are using it. Quick word about one of my channel partners, that is American Audio Company. The American Audio Company is a unique UK-based hi-fi and home cinema store specializing in some amazing North American AV products. With relationships with a wide range of both UK importers and US and Canadian manufacturers, they are in an amazing position to offer some truly amazing products to both end users and the trade. Please do check them out for all your AV needs. This is going to be your right side firing surround. Not 100% sure whether I'm going to leave this just mounted here or whether I'll build a little shelf out and actually have this floating just in front. That way I don't need to be really careful with the actual curtain, and obviously it'll also affect the Audyssey calibration as well. So not 100% sure what I'm going to do with that just yet, but we'll wait and see. Fronts, as you can see, yeah, the room is still a mess because I've literally just packed everything away into the corner there. So all my tools and everything are just here because we will be carrying on with this tomorrow. Originally, I was going to have the LCR like this. The problem I've run into is there isn't actually enough room on the sides of the screen in order for me to mount the speakers there and not obstruct everybody else's view, and even to some extent my own view sitting bang smack in the middle. So instead, what I've elected to do is mount all of the speakers just as high as I can underneath the screen. It is a bit of a challenge, so the hardest thing is actually figuring out how far up you can go before you sort of cut into the beam, because obviously these do stick out for a fair bit. So if you notice, if I take it to there, you can see my hand. As soon as I drop down to there and I go in further, then it actually hides it a little bit more. Now, these speakers are not light, so trying to do that whilst leaving all of this in situ, because you can't move anything. In order to figure out where the beam pattern is, you have to actually leave everything in place. So unfortunately, it's one of those ways I'll probably end up needing two people to help me, one person each side just holding the speaker, and then once I get a height or level, then I can mark it and then we can go from there. All of this stuff will probably end up coming off. Obviously the old soundbar mounts just there, don't need those. The conduit for the cables that used to run to the soundbar, once again, don't need that one. That's actually just for the LEDs around the screen. So what I'll probably end up doing is strip both of those off, mount everything, and then just reinsert a conduit as and when it's needed, or just run the speaker cables along that side as well. At the moment, the sort of media console isn't actually centered either. So if you notice, that is where the end of the sort of opening is, and as you can see, the projector wasn't centered because originally the lead that had running around there wasn't long enough, so I had to have this further that side. Eventually this will get centered. Now the other sort of outcome of all of this is the sub has to get relocated. So there isn't enough space for me to mount these all horizontally and not get obstructed by the sub. So I'd rather have a really good sound stage, if I can get my words out. So the sub will probably end up getting relocated to that corner, which it's empty anyway. It's not really used apart from all my YouTube gear, so that can get moved somewhere else. And after that, basically it will go into that corner. I will also have some acoustic treatments going on the front two walls, because obviously because of the fact that I've now had to use it across the front wall, essentially your your reflection points are going to be a lot closer, because I want to try and push them out as far as possible in order to distinguish the center channel. And in order to do that, obviously I've got to push them right to the boundary. So sound treatment will be going on the side ones. Atmos speakers won't be getting done just yet. I probably will end up needing more cable. As you can see, I've ordered quite a bit of cable, but some of it I cut wrong, so I ended up wasting quite a bit. And other cable I've literally left loads, as you can see it dangling down there. I've left loads extra just so then once everything is in place, then I can trim off any excess, and also leave enough to where if I ever move the rack, the Marantz into a rack or any other type of setup, there's enough where it can move either side quite easily. But yeah, this is where we've got to so far. The sound tests, demos that we've done so far, even with this kind of weird concoction of speakers with your center channel on the floor, your surrounds up high, it's still way better, like miles better than what the soundbar was, and that was miles better than what the built-in speakers did. One thing that was kind of strange is how low the level on the Marantz was. Obviously I'm not used to having to push the volume up towards the 70s in order to get it to really kick out. Generally it's quite low numbers whenever I'm working with TV speakers or soundbar speakers. Generally I don't go above half, so it's kind of strange getting used to it. But yeah, I've not run Audyssey yet, so I will need to run calibration, but that is pointless doing it at this stage. I may as well do it once I've got everything mounted, when the speakers are mounted and everything is set. As I say, that one is going to be a little tricky. I'll probably need a little bit more work, just either put a bracket or a mount or something in order to get it on. The other thing that, yeah, I'll discuss the speakers individually in a separate video, but yeah, this was just a sort of update video in terms of where we've got to. There is a lot of mess in the room. I've got my pile of Eufy stuff in that corner. I do also have the Aircom T10 as well. Now I don't actually have a power cable for this one for some reason, so I will be well, I've already ordered a power adapter for it, so once that comes I'll chuck it on top of there. Hopefully that'll, even though it's open space and it's not ideal, it should help remove some of the heat that's coming towards that. On screen you're going to be seeing quite a red hue all over the image. I can see it through the actual phone screen. In person you don't actually see any of that. And this is what it looks like when you switch the lights off. Once again, the iPhone's actually enhancing the picture somewhat. It's probably not as bright and as vivid as it actually looks. So yeah, this is what we're getting. A good first day. Obviously it was only a half day. I was at work today, so it was literally just a case of this whole week I've been quite busy, so it's just been a case of get stuff done whenever I can. Yeah, I will update you as and when more work is done. So if you haven't already done so, please do subscribe, hit the notification bell, and I'd also appreciate if you could give this video a thumbs up just to help the channel out. That like button, it really helps channels like mine, smaller channels, so please give it a thumbs up. And until the next one, thanks very much for watching.